Hey everyone, welcome to Sequence of Instructions. Thanks for joining me. This video is going to be all about putting it together. And by that I mean, up to this point, if you've been following along with our videos, we've given you different tools. The analogy holds, we've given you a hammer, we've given you a screwdriver, we've given you a table saw, but we haven't really showed you how they can work together and how you can use them to build something useful. And that's really what programming is about. It's not just about understanding the concepts of computer science, it's about applying those concepts to solve problems. So this first video is going to be just taking what we've learned so far and applying it. Future videos, we're going to learn more complicated things about JavaScript and other languages, and we'll have more videos like this that take those new learnings and apply them. But consider this the first big milestone. So the point of this project, this little mini exercise we're going to do, is going to be summing up all the numbers from 0 through some stopping number. And this is sometimes called sum factorial, and you maybe wonder, I've often wondered, like, what's the sum of every number between 1 and 30? And that's really hard to do in your head, but it's really easy for computers to do. There is some math equation to solve it, but it's easier to just, if you don't know the equation like I don't, it's easier to just write a program to do it. So let's do that. First we'll write the project description. We want to find the sum of every number between 1 and some stopping number. Call it n. Alright, and so as is the case with larger projects, so too it goes with this small one. It's easier to solve them when you break them down into really granular tasks. So this large description, if I told you this, you might be thinking, I don't even know where to start. I got to deal with numbers. I have to sum them. There's some stopping number I don't even know yet. Like, how do I even begin to approach this? But if you break it down into smaller tasks, it becomes a lot simpler. So we know that there's going to be some stopping number n that presumably the user is going to give us. So step 1 is going to be get stopping number from user. Step 2 is going to be, alright, well, how do I sum every number between 1 and that number? What tool do I know that I can maybe use in this case? And one of the tools we learned was a for loop, which basically iterated a set number of times. Since we're going from 1 up to that number, that's a finite, it's a discrete number of iterations, we can use a for loop. So use a for loop, that's called GOR. Use a for loop to iterate through each number. And then last is going to be print the sum to the console. So these are our 3 big steps here. So we want to find out what number we're iterating to. We want to iterate 1 through that number, summing as we go. And then we want to print the sum to the console. 3 simple steps. Each one of these, I think we already have the tools to solve, except maybe this first one. And this brings me to the second point of this video, which is in JavaScript, there's a lot to know. There's many things I still don't know, I'm sure. But oftentimes, this is also not how you spell stopping. Excuse me. But oftentimes, a simple Google search will help you get the answer. Someone else has come across the same issue, more than likely, and even if they haven't, they've come across an issue similar enough that they can give you some insights. So we want to get some stopping number from our user. So let's open up a new tab here. We'll say get user input JavaScript. And here we go. This first one's an add. I've clicked on this one. This one is an answer. I've done the search before. But let's see what this one yields. Get user input in JavaScript. Oh, but this focuses on HTML, so this may not be what we want. It's not. So this is HTML. This is what we want, though. Window prompt method. So this will display a prompt box which asks the user for his or her name and outputs a message. Here's an example of how to use it. You declare some variable. You set the variable's value to the return value of this function prompt. And let's get a function definition here. The prompt method displays a dollar box that prompts the visitor for input. A prompt box is often used if you want the user to input a value before entering a page. Okay, so here's an example. It's appropriate by all browsers. Here's the parameter definitions. You're going to call prompt, you're going to pass it some text and some default text. Text is required, which is what the user is going to see as the prompt. And optionally, you can pass default text if they don't submit. This is optional though. And here it says it will return a string. If the user clicks OK, the input value is returned. If the user clicks cancel, null is returned. If the user clicks OK without entering text, an empty string is returned. This is all useful information. But here's how it's used, basically prompt and some text. So let's use that. So step one is get a stopping number from the user. So var n, because we said stopping number is n, is going to just be prompt, what is the stopping number? So this will give us some value n. All right, step one's done. Step two, use a for loop to iterate through each number. So for, I say var I equals 0. Well, we can start at 1 because 0 plus anything is still 0. While I is less than or equal to n, we're going to do something. And after each time we do it, we're going to add 1. What are we going to do? We're going to be summing the numbers. So we need some sum. Started at 0. We're going to do sum equals sum plus I. So the first time through, sum's going to add 1. The next time through, I is going to become 2. Sum's going to add 2. The next time through, I is going to be 3. Sum's going to add 3, etc., 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 until we've reached the number. I don't know why JSPN keeps doing this. Until we've reached the number n, we're then going to add n, and then we're going to leave. And the last step is to print the sum to the console. So here's a little program. Let's see if it works. We'll stop at 5 because I know what the answer should be. 15. Perfect. It appears to be working. So if we do 2, it should add 1. 2 should give us 3. There it is. 5 is 15. What's how about this? How long would it take me to calculate this? Well, I don't need to. It's 8,778. This is so cool. I think this is just the neatest thing. So we've quickly built a program that will give us the sum of every number from 1 to whatever number we decide. It does it way faster than you could even enter it into your calculator, even if you knew the math equation. Now that it's written, this is fast, right? This is 405,450. That's pretty cool. So anyway, I could stare at this all day. I think that's really neat. I hope you think it's pretty neat too. And anyway, this just combines some of the things we've learned up to this point. It combines numbers, it combines for loop iteration, summing. We even learned a new concept, which is prompting for user input. That's pretty neat. Anyway, I hope you all stick along with it, or try this on your own. Stick along with the video series that we're doing. After this, we're going to start getting into a little more complicated JavaScript stuff to really kind of bring out the power of JavaScript, what makes it unique from other languages. And then we'll have plenty more of these fun little exercises along the way. So I hope to see you there. Take care. Bye.